export into different types of um, formats. PE is standard, but you can have it drop into shellcode into a binary. That way you can drop it into MSF encode or any other type of uh, exploit you want. You can actually take poison ivy. Believe it or not, you can take poison ivy, drop your server, add it as a payload option into Metasploit, and have poison ivy uh, payloads as your exploit. So, say you have MS08067, you've made the alternate with poison ivy. You've changed it so that it's say a Python array. You drop it, you have that as your payload. Bam, you have instead of interpreter, you have poison ivy talking back. Build. Um, so in the build, all you do is set your icon. You can use third-party uh, things to run afterwards. The default is UPX, and you generate. So we already did that. We're gonna go back in here, and really, um, these things don't die. If you have all the persistent stuff going, it is almost impossible to get rid of poison ivy. That's messed up, Sly. That's really messed up. That's that's as bad as saying. So when I was just learning Linux, I was in the Pound Linux channel on Freenode, asking how to alter the route or the default route. I was trying to alter the default route, and one of the guys in the channel said, "Hey, all you have to do is type init 6, init space 6, and you'll be set." So anyone wants to try that out, you'll understand exactly what happened. All right. So one last thing about uh, poison ivy before I get going. Um, actually, let me show you something else. That's, so nuclear rat or nuclear winter is another one. Some of the other cool stuff that it does is it can bounce a connection. Um, it can create a web server on the remote host. Keys is greater than poison ivy things. Yeah, I can restart it. Alright, so one of the things that Nuclear Winter does that's better than Poison Ivy, so there's two different things that, well, Poison Ivy, you can create a payload, which is awesome. It has better persistence options, but when it comes to connections and connecting back, Nuclear Winter does it better because it can do reverse connections. It can also bind at the same time and try that way. It can make direct connections through other means. Um, so here's its persistence stuff, the install file name, the DLL. Um, so the DLL version of this will inject on top just like Poison Ivy. Options, melting,